Go ahead. So Vincenzo is Italian, so his English is very easy to understand, as you will see. And he will be, I don't know if you heard the news, but actually Qlik recently acquired Talend as a company. So that was presented, that Talend is focusing on the data quality, ETL, etc. The presentation is going to be in English, so I'm kind of warming you up already for that. And Vincenzo will talk about not only Qlik, but also the synergies between Qlik and Talend after the acquisition, what's the roadmap, what's the vision. And also he will present a demo of Qlik that will include some basic functionalities of Qlik Sense Cloud. And afterwards, he will also show some machine learning, AutoML functionalities. So a lot of great stuff for you to see. In the afternoon, as you all know, there is a Qlik workshop, Snowflake workshop, and Talend workshop. So I heard that I'm just buying time here. So there is like 84 people registered for a Qlik workshop, around 30 or 40-ish people registered for a Snowflake workshop, and for Talend there is also like up to 10 people. So we're glad that this caught up as an idea. Okay, Vincenzo is ready, so great. Off to you, Vincenzo.
I'm gonna start with a short video. So, good morning, Bratislava. So, my name is Vincenzo. So, thanks, Robert. Robert told I speak English. I speak a kind of Italo-English. So, hope it's much better for you. Okay, I want to start today with a visualization masterpiece. So, this one. Please, raise the hand. How many of you already saw this visualization? Okay, someone on the back. It is quite used in the visualization world because it is universally recognized as a visualization masterpiece. It was made by Charles Joseph Minard in 1856. So it represents the Napoleon-Russian campaign, so the Napoleon-Russian defeat, much better. And it is recognized as a masterpiece because in one single outlook, you can get a lot of information. You can see the long distance covered by the French army. You can see the human loss as the line thickness decrease. You see, you can see the way from Paris to Moscow in one color, and the color in black color in the way back from Moscow to Paris, and even some other details on the back. So I don't wanna talk about the visualization today. That's not my goal. So you may ask, so why you bring these as your first deck in slide? The reason is because I want to share with you some idea on the few months before the battle, before the Russian campaign. For sure, Napoleon start collecting information. Now, I believe in 1816, ChatGPT was not there, so Napoleon can have the possibility to ask ChatGPT, okay, how can I manage this battle, this campaign? So I was thinking he was in a room with his intelligence team asking questions. So what kind of questions he asked to his team to organize this battle? So for instance, how many soldiers do they have in the army? Where they are located? How they were equipped? And where to find the best foie gras along the way? That's really the matter. So you got the point. Probably he didn't ask all the questions, he didn't collect all the information he need, and you know how the battle ended up. And this still happens today. This still happens today to us. Okay, so we do exactly the same in our job. Every day we try to collect information, we try to ask questions, and to prepare our single business battle. Okay. So my question to you is, are you sure you ask all the right questions? Are you sure you ask all the questions to your analytic platform, if in the best of the case you use an analytic platform? You have to know that an ordinary analytic platform gives you back visualization and information only related to the question you answer, no more, no less. Okay? So this is the reason why 30 years ago, Qlik was born. We believe that answering questions is just not enough. We believe in data democratization. So users should be freely explore, analyze, and access to the data independently. And we believe in collaboration between users. Collaboration can bring much value to the organization. And this is the reason why we provide the most complete and comprehensive platform on the market. Of course, that was built with blood, tears, and sweat, and of course, not only with blood, tears, and sweat, but even with strategic acquisition. And talking about acquisition, the last one we completed this year is with Talend. Now, today, the combination of Talend and Qlik form the largest data provider, integration, quality, and analytics provider on the market. Just to give you some numbers, we serve more than 40,000 customers in over 100 countries around the world. And with over 1,800 partners, we can support customers of any scale and size. Industry analysts, such as Gartner, recognize Qlik as a leader in each segment we serve, so integration, quality, and analytics. And you can see here the suites. So more successful organizations today are investing. They are investing to make sense of the increasing number of the data, the volume of the data, the complexity of the data, the different data sources. And that's the challenge. The challenge is dealing with these data sources, and not only dealing with the data sources, but really ingest the data sources, analyze the data sources, integrate the data, but at the same time, having the trustworthiness of the data. You need to trust in the data itself. So Qlik can work with any source, any target, any architecture, any methodology, and we are able to provide the data, the correct data to the correct user, wherever they are and whenever they need. You can see here the two different cores, the data integration and the data analytics. So we can offer the both sides in one unique comprehensive cloud solution. But we can even offer those two solutions, integration and analytics, separately, so independently, because sometimes users, customers, need them, and they have different needs, so we can meet their unique needs. So Talend and Qlik are not in competition at all, they are complementary, okay? And Talend actually extend Qlik. You can see here on the slide even the red cross, the red icon. Those are the capabilities that Talend bring to the Qlik cloud. As you can see, the SaaS app connectors, ETL data transformation, data preparation, the governance, and on the foundational service, there are the API creation and the orchestration. I don't remember if I mentioned we are the cloud-first provider, okay, but we are not the cloud-only provider. So we can provide the same set of capabilities, not only in the cloud, but even on the client manage and on hybrid workload. And yeah, that's the unique value that Qlik and Talend can bring together. So we can about the value on 3 different pillars. And the first one is the comprehensive best-in-class solution. So that's what it means, exactly what I told you before. So we can work on any target source, any target and source and target architecture, any methodology, and we can provide the data everywhere the user needs. The second pillar is the agility for constantly changing requirements. We can really put together the 2 different worlds, the business worlds and the IT worlds. We can break the barrier because we can really provide an agnostic technology platform. You can choose any technology you want. You can host the data wherever you want. We not lock in users in any technology. And the last one is the enterprise grade trust for everyone. That means you can predict the value from your data. So that's something that is important, especially for the CFO, to predict the value and ensure the regulatory compliance. So today in our industry, the biggest obstacle is really dealing with 2 different domains. Typically, we compartmentalize these two domains. That means that integration that belong historically to the IT and business intelligence historically belong to the business. And this compartmentalization naturally leads to a passive approach using the data. We call this a passive BI. What does it mean exactly, passive BI? Passive BI means dealing with historical data, with static data, with batch process data. But today, the requirement from the market is completely different. We need to deal with a large scale on-prem, in the cloud, in real time, okay? And when we talk to the passive BI, we even mean a platform that informs you after the fact. So you get the information when something already happened, okay? And to bridge this gap, this compartmentalization gives rise to a role of the CDO. The CDO sometimes try to merge those two different words, but still the IT sometimes have access to much more data, what business really need to access. These don't leave that space for a real transformation. In Qlik, we try to combine the 2 different areas with one single end-to-end analytic data pipeline. And you can see these even today. So the sum of both areas giving you much more value than the value of one single area. And we even move from the passive BI to what we call the active intelligence. And we build this active intelligence on principles. So we have, again, 3. 3 is a magic number. So 3 are the principles that help us to drive what we call the active intelligence. The first principle is the SaaS principle. Okay? So I told you we are a cloud-first company. So the market, of course, you can recognize is clearly shifting to the cloud and to the SaaS service consumption. But the organization need to start the journey at their own pace. So each organization has different needs, different requirements. And we build solutions that respect each organization timing, each organization piece. And the second principle is the data principle. So we build solutions who are flexible enough to allow customer to host the data, their data, wherever they want. We don't ask anyone to move the data in our cloud, okay? And the last principle is the customer principle. Customer, of course, are at the center of everything we do. Okay, now, that was the first part. I want to show you even something around Qlik Sense. So allow me to just exit the presentation. Now, that's the complex part to find where the mouse is. The mouse is here. And I'm gonna wanna open, maybe it's this one. Okay, Qlik Sense. This is Qlik Sense. This is Qlik Sense, the tenant. Let me even magnify this one. And I want to start with you from the getting started. So everything you need to use Qlik Sense in tenant is a modern browser, no more. And even if you have no idea on how Qlik Sense can work, you can even start from the Getting Start page. The Getting Start page has this special session, which is the welcome page. You can hide or show, and welcome page allows you to really start from the beginning. You can analyze the data, you can learn how to analyze the data, how to import the data. There are some links to useful resources, or you can even start from this big green button. We really like the green button. And you can start importing the data or navigate the data. On here, you can find on the How To section some short videos on how to get it started, and you can even have some demo apps. Of course, once you started, there is the home page. You can customize your home page with the button on upper right. You can have and add and remove sections. As you can see, as the first sections, I have my mobile content, because we provide even a native mobile application. You can organize the mobile application from here. And then favorites is just a different way to organize your content. Now, let me start from the catalog. So the catalog is the place where you remember the slide where we bridge the two different words? That's really the place where we want to bridge the two different words, the business and IT. The catalog, you can organize your content inside the platform with spaces. There are basically 3 different spaces: the personal, shared, and managed. So you have your personal spaces if you are entitled to a professional or advanced user. Okay, now the license metrics is going to change. So before was professional, now it's going to change the full users. The personal space is your space, so only you have access to that space. You can build everything in your personal space. The shared space is a space where you can invite others to collaborate, so you can really work together to the same exactly object. You can start building complex dashboard in teams. You can have a teams of 10 people working on the same dashboard. And once you build a dashboard alone in your personal space or with others in a shared space, you can publish. You can publish whatever you did in the managed space. Managed space is really the production space. So no one can change, can modify the work, but anyone can contribute, can collaborate. And it is always very clear what content is delivered by the organization and what content is delivered by the single people. Now, let me go a bit on one of these spaces. For instance, now as you can see, I am on the space. I can see even the content in different ways. The content is really different kind of objects. You can have dashboards here. You can have, as you can see here, data sets of any type. You can have even other kind of object like business glossary. I'm going to show you in a few minutes even other content. The space has some details, some properties, and on the space you can get notification. You can set up notification. Maybe you want to be notified, as you can see here, if an app is created on this space because you are the space owner, or maybe you want to notify if someone deletes some application on this space, and so on. And there are different, as you can see here, different channels on the notification. There are members. You can invite members, and each member have a different roles. So you can give view roles, you can give edit roles, change or can manage the space. And this is the way to drive what we call the user authorization in Qlik Sense. The space itself, in the space itself, you don't just can drag and drop data, but you can even define the data connection. Okay, so you can connect to your Snowflake database. You can connect everywhere. You can connect your SAP system. And the way to share the connection is using the members. So you can easily create a space, create a connection to your SAP system, giving the not the edit connection, the view rights to a number of people And these people are ready to use the connection without having the credential to the data. So they are not able to connect directly to the system, but they are able to use the object to bring the data in Qlik Sense. Let me go back. As you can see, there are even other objects. I have CSV, QVDs. Let me just open one of these. So let me open one QVDs. So you can bring the data, as I told you, inside the catalog. And once you have the data in the catalog, you can profile the data. So Qlik can profile the data, and you can see very quickly what kind of fields you have, what are their distribution. You can change the view. You can classify the dataset itself, okay? You can create classification, or let me change a bit the view. If I go here and I go on the fields view, I can see here the three different views. This is the data view. This is the list view. That means, as you can see, you have here the metadata, and on each metadata, you can give a business name and a business description to the technical fields. You not only can give a business name, a business description, and this is the way for business user to looking for their data. So maybe they don't know the technical, just thinking about the metadata of SAP. I don't know how many of you work with SAP. Please raise the hand. So SAP give this German name, so sometimes very difficult to understand. So if you have even other system, you can even really very easy describe the system here. You can flag, you can give tags of flag data as PII, especially now for the GPR, is very, very important, or even sensitive information, okay? Let me just talk to you the last things about the catalog. The catalog gives you even another possibility, which is the way to use, and let me go back for this, the way to use the business glossary. So we provide a business glossary. Let me go on all means I can see all the object in my catalog, or at least the object I'm allowed to see. So I can even filter by type. Those are the type of objects in my catalog. I want to see the glossaries in my catalog. As you can see, I have few glossaries. I'm now gonna open the insurance glossaries. And the glossary is really a glossary of terms, a dictionary. So you can specify the terms and descriptions. You can have a hierarchy of the terms. As you can see, this is a glossary of insurance terms. Adjuster, you can see I just opened one of the terms. You can have the name, abbreviation, of course, the definition. The glossary have even the status. There are 3 different status. So when you define a status, normally you are still working on a status. The status is a draft. Okay? When you are ready to use the terms, you can move the status in verified, and when the terms is no longer used, you can move them, or you can move it in deprecated. And you can even link resources, so you can, for instance, define a terms to a dataset, and you can really link a dataset, or you can really link any other object in Qlik. You can really a dataset or even a dashboard. You can have a related terms. That means if you have a terms that maybe you can define something with something else, you can have a related terms in your terms. So it's very easy for users that are looking for information to step from one terms to another. And of course, it is important for have someone who is responsible for terms. They call data stewards. So, okay, there are special role called stewards. You can define here the people responsible for these terms. Okay, where you can use these terms? You can use these terms directly in the Qlik Sense dashboard. So allow me to show you even this. So let me jump back again on my secure connection space. So here, no. Let me open let me open, where is it? Let me open just this one, sales margin tracking. This is a Qlik Sense dashboard. Maybe some of you already know Qlik Sense. For others, maybe the dashboard, this is the first time that you see how the dashboards look like. I don't want to tell you about the dashboard. There will be other demo today. Just want to show you where the terms, the glossary terms are used. This is a standard dashboard. So I go in an edit mode. The dashboard, what we call the master item, where you can define the dimension, the master dimension, and master visualizations. So this is one of the master dimensions, the region. I want to change, of course, the definition of the regions. There are a few properties, and one of these is the terms. So when I define the region, now let me call this something different. For instance, customers or adjusters, as we saw before. I'm able, that's draft assets, for instance. I'm able to pick up definitions from the catalog, as you can see from the business glossary. This is the glossary assurance term. That's the state, for instance. Asset risk is in a draft state. I can use it. Adjuster probably was adjuster. No. Okay, let me just pick one randomly. Major medical, that's still draft. And select. Or you can even create a new terms here. And again, that's the way for the business users to find their terms and description, and to have one single view, one single organization view on each single terms. Okay, so that was my short demo. Let's going again on the boring section, so the slides. Let me go here. Where is the mouse? Maybe on the other side, yes. And we want to start from here. So the second section is about AI and ML, okay? AI and ML. So AI is really a buzzword today. AI is taking the world by storm, and especially the analytics industry, the analytics market, is in the center and the middle of the storm. But, however, there are many different use cases. So there are a large variety of use cases of AI in the organization. For instance, the natural language analytics. Natural language analytics is declined to the natural language processing and generation. And it was used since a long time, especially in the analytic market. And it was used to generate insight. So even user without any skill, user with a low literally or data literary level can easily use the natural language. And we support many different languages to ask questions and to get back information. Not only information visually, but even with the generative language, there is a description on what they are seeing in that moment. The automated insight generation allow users to create even sophisticated analysis. Just thinking about the clustering, the forecasting. So you don't need anymore to have a deep knowledge on how the clustering is made. There are templates. Templates allow you to fill data. And I'm going to show you this in a few moments. You just need to select data, fill in the templates, and you have even complex analysis. And then there is the machine learning. Machine learning allows us to move from historical to predictive insight. So on what we call before the passive BI. Passive BI uses historical data. So people, users, try to get their decision based on what's happened on the past. So ML allows us to get decision on what is more likely to happen in the future, which is change completely the scenarios. And then generative AI. Generative AI help to expand the context, to drive the broader insight, and to widen the audience. Of course, everything should be in the platform scalable, governed, and extensible. And in Qlik, we provide a few capabilities that cover these needs. And first of all, we really believe that the problems, business problems, cannot be solved only by algorithms. Okay, many times business problems require the human interaction. And we believe that those tools can empower user to maximize their potential. That's the way the EI is used in Qlik. We provide this advisor. I'm going to show you today, later, after these few sections, this advisor in the AutoML. This advisor is a kind of personal assistant. So use the conversational analytics. So you can really have a conversation with the AI, and I'm going to show you. And that can help you to generate, to assist you to generate analytics, and that they can use even to create dashboards. And then there is AutoML. AutoML is one of the acquisitions we did last year. It helps to predict, to move from passive BI to predictive analytics. You can use even to build the what-if analysis. The what-if analysis using a machine learning model. And what is important, AutoML is built and designed for business analysts. So you don't need to master the data science skills to use it. But if you are the data scientist, if your organization already did investments in data scientists, there is still advanced analytics integration. That means you can use the power of the third-party engines and plug the power into the Qlik Sense. And there is really, in an organization, different scenarios of use cases. You have the business user. Business user, typically, they try to solve the problem to get decision. They can use the natural language with this advisor to solve their problem. They can use machine learning model to make decision. The second who benefit from the platform is the business analyst. Business analysts are those who build dashboards, create visualizations. They can still do the same using the intelligent assistant. They can build AutoML. They are the target people for the AutoML. They can build models, the most used model in the, and they can do both things. They can create model for business users, or they can use complex model created by the data scientist. And data scientists can continue to create their sophisticated models. They can continue to tackle the more complex problem, because AutoML is not made for complex problem, it's made for the day-by-day problem, okay? So the data scientists can still work on their complex model and use the tool of their choice. Okay, that's the difference, and what the AutoML brings the data together. You can still use the power of Qlik Sense engine to get the data, bring to data all different kind of sources. You can rapidly explore the data. You can repeatedly doing different tests, different experiment with different hypotheses. You have an unlimited number of experiments before publishing the model. You have the full explanatory of the prediction. So that is important. With AutoML, we don't provide only the outcome. We don't provide only the results. Probably that customer will gonna churn, for instance. But we provide even the shapely value. We can tell why something is gonna happen. The explore and discover. You can explore and use the dashboard even for the what-if analysis using the machine learning. We can take action. Once you get the insight, you can drive action with the automation. You can see later today what the automation is. And of course, again, that's for the analytic users. So this is just an example. I don't want to go deeper in an example. This is a customer churn. So what is the customer churn? Basically, the churn is an analysis made by company, organization, who they has the subscription model, okay? So when a customer quit the subscription, basically we say the customer churn, so exit subscription. So the analysis is to understand which customers will likely to churn, okay? We're gonna see these in the demo, but I wanna use these slides just for showing you what kind of question you can ask to your analytic platform. So with descriptive analytics, without machine learning, what you can ask purely based on the history is, okay, what was the retention last quarter? And you're gonna get this information. And on this information, you should get your decision, okay? How is related the last quarter retention to the future is based on you, okay? With the predictive analytics, okay, the question change. You know exactly, based on an algorithm at the end, on the percentage, person by person, customer by customer, who is gonna churn. So you can ask which customer is likely to churn next quarter. And from predictive to prescriptive with shapely value, you can even ask, okay, but why they're gonna churn? Maybe someone is gonna churn because of the specific type of contract. Maybe someone else is gonna churn for a different reason. And you can take action on this. Okay, that's putting all together. The Qlik app platform can offer a complete end-to-end workflow with AutoML. You can bring the data from the different sources. You can leverage, of course, the associative model and create the machine learning ready dataset. The AutoML now I'm gonna show you is a no-code, usually very easy interface to create and deploy machine learning and predictive analytics. You can use the same in the what-if analysis, and of course you can trigger the action. So I still in time, Robert?
Yes,
Okay.
you're in time. It's fine. Actually, you have one question here.
Okay.
So I'll just use this opportunity because someone used Slido, even though it wasn't announced, so that's great. Does the data governance capability, so the business glossary, work in the cloud version only?
Yes.
Okay. Any plans to integrate it on-prem?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Pretty sure no. That's the cloud-only capability, yes.
And feel free to use slido.com and just type in slido.com and then better data 23, and you can post your questions. We'll see it and we can ask any speaker, customer, or whatever.
Okay, so allow me to do the last. Can I do for the last demo? Inside Visor, you remember the personal assistant is on the upper left corner. You can find the Inside Visor in each single dashboard, so the context is the dashboard itself, or you can find the same in the hub. That means when you ask questions in the hub, the context is the whole platform, okay? There are 3 different ways to create analytics with this assistant. The explore your data, ask questions in another language, and create analysis. Explore your data means you can really click on your data, customers, for instance, and I don't know, description no has no sense, and cost, for instance. So in this case, Qlik create for you the visualization. So in this case, this is cost by customers. Okay, that's something very easy. You have the list of customers, the customer cost total, and you have even some insight found. As you can see, the top 98 customer represent almost 80% of the total cost. Okay, that was created, that was the generation. And you can use it in your dashboard. So this is for you to quickly explore the data, so you don't need to create the dashboard. You can just click on, on fields, explore the data. But if there is something that you wanna have to show the others, that's very easy to add this to your sheet. Okay, so you can go there and create a sheet to add to an existing sheet. And the second way is ask natural questions. There are different language. Others will come. Don't know if there is there is Polish. Was the last one we had, but other language will come. And here you can really ask questions. Now I don't remember this dashboard. Probably it's margin. Let me see. You can write something like margin by customer. Now margin by customer. I don't know if this is the right application, because I really open a random one, yes. So margin, that's the margin by customer. And again, you have exactly the same output, okay? So the total margin is 93 million, and the first 114 customers represent, the first 114 customers represent 80% of the margins. The same Insight Advisor is available even on your mobile phone. So that means sometimes you are on moving, you can open the native Qlik Sense application, you can even talk. Now, please don't ask me to talk to the to this advisor, but that works. You can try it. You can try it even with your mobile phone. You are driving, for instance. No, not driving. You are walking, for instance. So please don't do this while driving. And you can ask questions. Okay, the last one is create analysis, and that's the template I told to you. So there are different templates, easy or complex, the overview, trend over time, the ranking. As you can see, this is the process control, the rolling data. You can have the mutual information, correlation, the clustering, or analysis spike. There are different kind of complex analysis. Now, what you need to do, let me do just for the sake of the demo, of course, I'm gonna get the ranking. What you need to do is really to fill up what he asked for. And for this analysis, ranking, and you can change the analysis even from here, I need just a measure and a dimension, and the engine even suggests you some measures. So you have sales 2021, or I can use others. And as you can see, there are in gray out the fields that you can not gonna use as a measure because they have no sense. Maybe I want to select cost for city, okay? And again, that's the analysis. And of course, I use the rank, but you can use even the more complex analysis. Of course, you need to care about the data to put in the template. Okay, that was the Insight Advisor. And let me show you now the AutoML. AutoML is the way to create experimental machine learning. Let me show you how to start from scratch. When you want to create something on Qlik, there is this green button here. That's your best friend. You can really create everything from here, including, you can see the glossary here. You can import the glossary, but I wanna create the new experiment. Okay, you basically start with experiment. So the first thing you need to do is give it a name. Eventually, you can give it a description. And the first step is to select the training data set, your historical data. Okay. So in this case, I'm gonna select the churn. Telco churn. So the training data set, since it's an historical data, you already know the outcome, because AutoML tries to learn a path from the history. That means I have a number. That's now is the metadata view. I'm gonna move on the data view. That means here I have the data for at the customer level. So I have each single customer with all the data about the customer, and I know historically if this customer has churn or not, is still a customer. So you can see this is the output. Yes, no, because this is an historical data. The goal is to find a path, to create a model based on the feature, and try to understand with the other data if customer will churn or not. Okay. So what you need to do is really the first thing is to select the target. As you can see, the target is the arrow. The target is churn, so I want to predict churn. There are three different kinds of prediction. The prediction this is what we call the binary prediction. So 0, 1, yes, no, true, false, okay? Then there are a multi-class prediction. Maybe you want to predict something that are in different classes. Maybe you want to predict which plan is better for your customer. There are three plans, the gray, the green, and the blue. That's a multi-class. Or a regression analysis. The regression analysis tries to predict a continuous number. You want to predict your expenses next quarter. Okay, those are the three kind of prediction you can run with AutoML. So once you selected your target, automatically you have all other fields selected as a feature. Feature means the data you can get in the model. So you are free to remove some of them who have no sense. For instance, the first one was removed by the AutoML itself because it is a key. So the key is a unique value, so does not add any information. Or even constant does not add any information. AutoML for you perform some basic action. For instance, perform what we call one-hot encoding. One-hot encoding is a classification. So basically, that's ungender, male or female. So instead of having male or female, the one-hot encoding have two different columns. So these columns will be swapped in two different columns, where 0, 1, where if it's a male, the 0 is on female and 1 is on a male. Okay, so these are all the basic steps that a data scientist knows and need to perform manually, but all those kind of steps will be performed automatically with AutoML. So you can even don't care. That's everything is automatic. You need to probably, something that you can do is select the feature type, categorical or numeric for the integers. What does it mean? If it is a number, your representation for sure is a numeric. If in this case, let's just pretend we have a fields 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 means a plan, blue, green, and black. Okay, that's not a number for you. That's a category. That's a categorical. Okay, so the tool try to understand these on its own, and you can adjust. And that's the work you need to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Once you did that, you just need run experiment. It is expected this is the longest part of the experiment normally. Of course, I'm using a very short data set, so it should be very fast in my case. So what the tool is doing is trying to perform 8 different algorithms. You can even remove some of them if you really believe that you don't want to use it. And how, in this case, this is a binary classification. The binary classification basically divide the dataset, the historical dataset, in chunks, in 5 different chunks, 20% the data for each chunks. They use 4 chunks to find the path, and then the last one to verify the path. Okay, so that means they don't use last one to build the model, and once the model is built, it verify the model with the last 20%. Now there is the last one, and once you have the outcome, so the AutoML create the confusion matrix. You remember the verification. So in the verification, you have the true positive, the false positive, the false negative, and the true negative, based on the verification itself. As you can see, on the verification, you have in this case 265 true positive and 193 false positive. Based on this KPI, so on the different relationship between this KPI, the confusion matrix, AutoML create this matrix with recall, accuracy, precision, that are kind of KPI of the goodness of the algorithm itself. You, of course, can still adjust and run as many experiments as you want till you have your best experiment. The F1 is a kind of, average, okay? Now, I have to tell you, that's not a great score, now 0.6, but that was just to have a demo with you. You don't have only this information. You have even the Shapley value, the permutation importance. What does it mean? It tells you this information based on which field impact the most outcome. As you can see, the contract is the main reason for customer to churn. That can change from that's an aggregation value. So you can even select one single value, one single customer, and you can see the reason for that customer. That's an aggregated value. But you can really act on the Shapley value. And once you are happy, everything you need to do is deploy. Okay, you can deploy the model, and you can deploy the model. Again into. Let me deploy this in my personal space, and you can use it in different ways. You can use it, let me open the model from here. You can use it from Qlik Sense itself, of course, that's Qlik Sense itself, or you can even use it in real time using an API. So if you want to use AutoML with a third party, I don't suggest you use a third party visualization tool, but if you want, you can still do that. With this, Robert, I conclude my presentation. I hope everything is clear. If you have any questions, I'm on the Qlik booth, here on your back. That's fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vincenzo. Dobre, tak poprosím, aby sme sa už usadili. Máme skls 15 minút, ako to už na konferenciách býva. A teraz bude prezentácia od Igora Szafranského, ktorý reprezentuje firmu Snowflake. Snowflake je jeden z top 4, by som povedal, veľkých hráčov, čo sa týka cloud data platformy, čiže je to full cloud riešenie, kde v podstate za 4 minúty viete fungovať a vyklikáte si Data Warehouse online a potom platíte len za reálnu spotrebu na báze v podstate sekúnd, kedy beží daná query. Takže možno vám o tom povie viac v prezentácii. Ešte jedna vec, čo sa týka poobedného programu, tak 13:30 alebo až 13:50 uvidíme, ako sa to podarí vzhľadom na skls, tak budú rôzne workshopy, čiže bude ten Qlik workshop, Snowflake a Talend. Zároveň, pokiaľ nie ste zaregistrovaní ani na jeden workshop, tak máte možnosť vlastne ísť na prehliadku štadiona ako takého. Začne 13:30, potom ešte dám bližšie organizačné informácie, zahrňalo by to celkovo štadión, potom nejakú Hall of Fame a podobne. Čiže 13:30 ešte takýto alternatívny program pre vás. Right now I will switch to English. Hopefully I will not forget to switch back to Slovak after the presentation again. And let me welcome Igor Szafranski here from Snowflake, who will share some ideas about the Snowflake, what Snowflake is and what is unique about this cloud data platform, and how you can use it to your benefit. So off to you, Igor.
Thank you.
The stage is yours.
Okay, so maybe I will start with a little bit of introduction of what I want to talk about. So in general, how organizations in today's world deal with data and how Snowflake can help to overcome the challenges that we everyone see in our everyday work. But before that, what really Snowflake is. So Snowflake started its journey some time ago, almost a decade ago, and we started with a simple notion on how to disrupt data analytics. So Snowflake was the inventor and creator of the data warehouse in the cloud, just to make the use and the benefit of the cloud of performance, scalability, ease of use, and near zero maintenance. So Snowflake delivered a platform called back then Data Warehouse in the Cloud that was supposed to manage big data workloads and give the ready-made product to the customers so that the business people can work with actually the data rather than keeping the lights on, like we used to call the noisy neighbors. So every BI reporting at the end of the month was the champion of the data warehouse and no one was allowed to use it because we really needed to do some calculations for the end of the month reporting. Then throughout the years, Snowflake just saw the growth, exponential growth in the market and started thinking, what else can we do with the data? What else, apart from the data warehouse, what else can the companies do with the data and the notion that data is the new oil? So Snowflake introduced something called Snowflake Data Marketplace. So each company, but also data providers, can post their data sets on the Snowflake Marketplace, and the companies can either buy it or they can share it within their organizations so that they enables the cross-company work with the same sets of data throughout. Then we have 2022 introduction of Snowpark, which enables another sets of tools. We enable companies to program in any language they want, from Java, Python, Scala, with an acquisition of Streamlit that enabled the access to Python libraries and the access to create their own business applications. So enable companies with the Streamlit as a visualization tool to create their own application for the business purposes. And today, we are still growing. We having over 8,000 customers worldwide, strong in our regions, like Żabka, the largest chain of grocery stores in Central Eastern Europe, is counting on Snowflake in everyday actions and collecting from over 8,000 shops data every day just to analyze what's best for the customers. But throughout all these years, we changed from being a data warehouse in the cloud into something that we call data cloud. And what really constitutes of the data cloud? There are two important factors. The first one is the platform, but it's not only anymore a data warehouse, but it's also a platform that we can do data engineering with Snowpark and Python, Java, Scala, and all the language programming languages. We also have data science capabilities. We also enable data applications so that companies can build tailor-made application for the use within the organization, and data sharing. So we can share the data within organization, but we can also share it with outside customers, suppliers. Like in retail, for example, a lot of our customers build ready-made applications just to share the information about the stock, inventories, and what's going to happen. So we have the platform, and under the platform we have the content that can come from within the organization, but also from the external data sources. As we can see, the growth is exponential. So each dot is representing a customer, and each line connects the connection between the customers and the providers of the data. And throughout all these years, just 3 years, we managed to create the whole ecosystem in which, becoming customers of Snowflake, we become partners, becoming part of the ecosystem of the data, so that we can find new business use cases, but we can also make the use of the data what we've never thought about. 2019, COVID, everyone knows, everyone experienced it to certain degrees. So we also made possible the exchange of the data for our customers so that they were able to predict and forecast their supply chains, their productions, but also their logistics and transportation, just to avoid disruption in the work of organizations. And what makes Snowflake unique? So Snowflake consists of 4 layers. We have a storage that can load and get the data from unstructured, semi-structured to structured data. We have the second layer, which is the elastic multi-cluster compute power, and we make the complete separation of compute and storage. So customers do not longer have to think about how much data I need to process certain actions, but I can put as much data as I want and only work on a certain, and use the compute on a certain data sets. The third one is cloud services, and the fourth one is SnowGrid and cross-cloud and global. This refers to what I mentioned, that becoming a Snowflake customers, Snowflake partners, we're becoming the partners of the ecosystem, and we are being able to share and work with the data across countries, across globes, across continents. And it all is with near zero maintenance, so Snowflake deliver it as a product rather than a tool to manage. And why build data pipelines with Snowflake, and what Snowflake can deliver? So I will speak today about 3 of the workloads, so mainly the GenAI and LMs, applications, and data monetizations. But apart from that, Snowflake can work as well as many others. So data sharing, to enable companies to share data without building complex pipelines, FTPs, APIs, so we can share it directly through Snowflake platform. There's also a Unistore, which is enabling transactional use cases for the companies, so we can work on both sets of data, and then data lakes and data engineering. So what else is possible? As I mentioned, I would like to today, apart from data warehouse that we grew from, focus on AI, LMMs, data application, and then data monetization, and how Snowflake delivers value in this particular workloads. So when we think about Snowflake platform for GenAI and large language model processing, we think about the tool that we deliver and we can work with. So thanks to the acquisition of Streamlit, we are able to visualize and build application within Snowflake. We also have acquired last year a Polish startup called Applica that enable companies right now to analyze and extract unstructured data from documents. So a lot of new use cases and possibilities with the data with no manual work, and the search engine for the SQL queries. And it all comes within one platform, within a single environment, where we don't have to think how we secure our data, how we govern our data, because it's all in one single source of truth where we can work with it. Document AI, so analyze and extract data from unstructured data. As I mentioned before, so we have a built-in large model processing to process and read the documents with natural language, so we can ask the questions, and through the search engine developed by Snowflake, we can get the new results from the documents that we've never thought about. Next one, application. So applications is a new workload that Snowflake is strongly developing and propagating through its native app framework. So we can clearly see from the picture here, from the slide, that we have a traditional app landscape where we need to focus on APIs, FTPs, complex pipelines to build. So our data is again fragmented and siloed. So there's always this thought, how can I get that data? Who do I have to ask? What do I have to build? What is the cost of it? And right now with Snowflake, we don't think about it anymore because we have a single source of truth. We have a single environment where our applications are securely stored and we can leverage more data. There's a new feature coming up in December. Most probably it will be announced at the Build Summit in Warsaw, Poland, which is containers. So with containers, we can actually think that everything is possible and everything can be stored directly on Snowflake and built with Snowflake. We also, first of all, we save the time, and second of all, we enable new use cases by reducing the cost of it. So there's always a question of money, and there's always a question, is it really relevant and profitable for my organization to do that particular thing? What do I have from it? These questions are no longer valid when you have Snowflake. So build data-intensive applications without the operational burden. So we don't need to think about these operational things, maintenance. It all comes as a single source of truth. So we can scale, we can build differentiated product faster, and we can also meet new customers across the data cloud. And Snowflake Marketplace also enhanced all of it with new data providers. So Nielsen for the financial institutions, healthcare and life science, we provide the IQVIA direct connection, so you can have that data again without the FTPs and APIs directly queried from Snowflake for your benefits. And the third one, which is quite interesting, not yet that much developed all over the world, which is the data monetization. So we can now distribute and monetize our data, but with the coming new features and capabilities of Snowflake, there will be also a possibility of hosting and selling your own business applications on the Snowflake Marketplace. That's a lot of companies from different industries have the data that they can share and sell. So for example, what Żabka does as an example from our region, as a retailer, they collect all the data regarding the products that they have in over 8,000 of their convenience stores, and they go back to the manufacturers and they claim, for example, that if they put their Coca-Cola bottle 2 shelves up, then their profitability will increase by 15%. And with having the analytical arguments and the proof for that, they actually charge back the customers to put their products on a certain shelves, on a certain places. And in each store, they have around 78 cameras collecting all of the moves and lights and seeing when is the decision made. What else you can get out of the Snowflake Marketplace? So as I mentioned already, the data sets and data applications, data services, Snowflake native app, and SaaS, so software as a service. Snowflake is a purely consumption-based model, and thanks to the separation of storage and compute, we only pay for the time the compute is being used for every second built. So there's nothing like we need to wait. There's nothing like we need to wait 15, 20 minutes for the machine, for the operational system to be ready, but we have it with one click ready just to be used. Snowflake monetization. With Streamlit acquisition, there comes another set of possibilities. So we can identify new upsells opportunities, we can accelerate evaluation, but we can also easily explore new pricing options. So we can either give it for free to our customers, they can pay for their data sets, for their applications, but they can also get it as a benefit of being your partner in business. So that's another thing in building relationship and exploring new opportunities. And as I mentioned, Snowflake Marketplace is something that is going into traction and is growing year on year. We have over 36,000 unique visitors every month. We have over 2,000 data providers, and there's a growing number of applications being also hosted on the Snowflake Marketplace for our customers. But Snowflake wouldn't be Snowflake without its partners. So main focus of Snowflake is to develop the platform, not to be that company that can deliver everything and bring everything to the table. So we have a large ecosystem developed, for example, in the business intelligence sphere, like Qlik, Tableau, Talend, which comes into the integration and modeling. And there's also another thing. Snowflake is a purely cloud-based solution. So we are available on every cloud, enabling companies to be multi-cloud, but also being able to leverage their position with the hyperscalers. So Snowflake is exactly the same on AWS, GCP, and Microsoft Azure. And what's Snowflake mission? Snowflake mission is to change the notion that the data is the new oil into reality. So it's to mobilize the world's data and bring the customers, the partners, the organizations ability to use the data that they've never thought about that can be used. And with that mission, notion, statement, I would like to thank you. And if anyone would like to find out more, I'm sitting right back on the left, and I also have few left socks, Snowflake socks. So winter is coming, so if anyone feel like they need, please come.